Welcome to this week's edition of the Week in Triathlon. Let's roll that intro and get stuck into this week's news.
Like and subscribe for more.
Top of the news this week is that Alistair Brownlee has cruised to his first 70.3 victory in a course record in Gran Canaria, while the Angry Bird threw away more than a 5-minute lead by coming into T2 a lap early on the bike. But as far as the half-distance triathlon is concerned this year, you've got Alistair Brownlee that's already shown his form at half-distance racing. You've got Richard Murray that's indicated that he's intending to go longer this year, and you've got Gomez coming up next as well. So which means that the current long course stars will have to up their ante if they're wanting to be staying relevant by the time we get to the end of the season. Then we move on to the Ironman North America Championships, where no less than 5 athletes went sub 8 hours, which brings me to the whole scenario of the Kona points ranking system. Surely it's time for that system to be revamped, whereby each of your full iron distance races get some sort of a time attached to them. Like, say for instance, your flat and fast courses, we can use the 8-hour mark and maybe an 8:45 mark as far as the women are concerned. And if you come in under that time and win the race, then that's an automatic Kona qualification. Or if you come under that time and still finish on the podium, that could count as double Kona points. And that way you'll be able to give athletes the opportunity to, if they are, and obviously that time gets use actuaries to pro rata calculate that time out to a slower finishing time on the tougher Ironman courses. But at the same time, what you're going to be having is you're going to be having athletes that might be out in front in a race, but are within a minute or two of being able to directly qualify for Kona, pushing just that little bit harder, which means that you might be getting course records falling at some of the more obscure Ironman events around the planet. Just an idea thrown out there. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think about this idea. Then, still with Ironman Texas, condolences go from all of us here at the Week in Triathlon go out to the family of Glenn Bremer, age 64, who was racing his 7th Ironman. He got into difficulty in this one, and by the time the volunteers and lifeguards pulled him out of the water, gave him medical attention, got him to hospital, unfortunately it was too late and he'd passed away, and he was pronounced on arrival at the hospital. And looking into that, it's something that all of us can learn from, myself included, and that is the very real risk of something that's called shallow water blackout. And what shallow water blackout is because your swim breathing is different to what your normal dry land breathing is. What happens is, because your breathing is so much deeper while you're swimming, and you expel so much more carbon dioxide while you're swimming, what happens is your brain gets fooled into thinking because there's depleted carbon dioxide in your system, there must ipso facto be more oxygen in your system, so your brain then allows more oxygen to travel to your muscles and less to your brain, and that quickly you black out. The symptoms running up to it is, as you start getting into that state of hypoxia where you've got actually less oxygen in your system than what your brain thinks you have, you start feeling this feeling of euphoria, and literally within the space of 2 swim strokes you completely black out, which makes it incredibly difficult for lifeguards to be able to spot, because you'll have somebody swimming absolutely normally with an absolutely smooth swim stroke, and literally in the space of 1 swim stroke they suddenly swap swimming altogether, face down in the water, and you've literally got 15 to 20 seconds to pull them out of the water before it's too late. So just something to bear in mind, that it's one of the reasons why, especially as far as open water swimming is concerned, it's never a good idea to go out open water swimming on your own because of shallow water blackout syndrome. And shallow water blackout syndrome has affected Olympic level swimmers. So therefore you and I are not immune to it at all. So just something to bear in mind there. Moving on to the world of Xterra, and Jere Luxem and Brigitte Poor won the inaugural Xterra Cyprus this past weekend. Then, getting back to Ironman, Nice, France has been announced as the venue for the Ironman 70.3 World Championship 2019. And finally, although not triathlon related but seriously endurance sport related, is that Kylian Jornet has headed off once again through to the Himalayas. He's set himself a task of climbing Choyo and Everest back to back on the same expedition. Keep an eye out on Twitter, on his Twitter feed, to be able to see how that progresses along through the April-May climbing season. That brings me to the end of this week's edition of the Week in Triathlon. Be sure to post any comments, questions, criticisms that you may have in the comment section down below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, share it out amongst your friends. If you're new to my channel, hit the subscribe button that's down there. And last but by no means least, until the two of us meet again, stay carved up for the win. See you next time. Cheers.